QuickBooks allows you to charge customers for your expenses through a feature named Billable Expenses. Please note, this capability is not available in all versions of QuickBooks. You will want to ensure you are using QuickBooks Online Plus. To get started, let us first turn that option on by going to the gear icon and then choosing Account and Settings. You'll find the Billable Expenses options in the Expenses area and then click on Bills and Expenses. First, let's turn on Track Expenses and Items by Customer, and then also Make Expenses and Items Billable. If you charge a markup, along with your billable expenses, choose this box, and you'll have an option while filling out the expense to charge customer a markup on top of your normal expenses. There are also other options for billable expenses here. Now, let's save our settings and click Done. Anytime you spend money, you can mark it as being a billable expense. So if you're creating an expense, any one of these can be marked as billable, and also even downloaded transactions in the banking center can be marked as being billable. We had to pay for some equipment rental, so let's enter an expense. The Payee A1 rental as we spend money out of our banking account by using your debit card. Down in the account details area, let's explain to QuickBooks what we spent our money on. We spent money on equipment rental, which is in expense account. Then entered the descriptions. The description here is really important because this is what the customer will eventually see on the invoice that you sent to them. Then enter the amount of money that you spent on this expense. If you want to tell QuickBooks that this expense was for a particular customer, you can click the customer drop-down arrow and choose that customer from the list. We spent this £500 on a job that we were performing for Amy's Bird Sanctuary. At this point, we could save this transaction and we will be telling QuickBooks about £500 leaving our bank account balance. And if we looked at our profit and loss report, we would see equipment rental go up by £500. And if we looked at job costing reports, we would see Amy's Bird Sanctuary as being the reason for this expense. But if we want to charge Amy's Bird Sanctuary for this expense on top of it already being assigned to them, click in the Billable section and then click the checkbox. This means that we want to create an invoice later on to Amy's Bird Sanctuary for this £500. And if we want to mark up this expense at all, we can enter a markup percentage right here. For this instance, let's say we're going to mark up Amy's Bird Sanctuary by 10% and then save and close. If you're entering transactions through the banking center, you can also assign billable expenses. All you have to do is click on the transaction and then right under the Payee area, you'll see a billable box and also a customer field. Use billable expenses anytime you need to charge a customer for your expenses.